Wow. All I got to say is wow. I didn't talk about I talked about the Taylor Jenkins thing, but I'll get to that in a moment on how this all adds up. But if you didn't know, the Nuggets fired their head coach and their GM at the same damn time. Whoa. I'm still trying to process all of the information that's coming out about this, but my thoughts on it is wow, the all-time winningest head coach fired. Wow. Something was up. Something was in the water. But this is the thing. The first rumor that I heard about why he got fired was the players were just tired of Mike Malone. Mike Malone's always held his players accountable. So I don't know. I think it's more than just lack of accountability amongst the players. Something had to be up. Me personally, I feel like the downfall of the Nuggets is always going to be Jokic's usage. Jokic's usage rate is just too high. Jokic can't bring up the ball, battle the other centers in the league in the post, pass the ball, play defense. No. His role has to be cut a little bit. I feel like Jokic should operate out the post the whole game and do the passing and the rebounding and the assisting that way. And I just feel like the Nuggets have had highs and lows. I don't understand. I mean, me personally, I get why they fired him, but the timing is weird. It's kind of off to me. I don't understand. Like, that Memphis situation taught Denver, like, oh, is this how it's supposed to be done? Bet. I've been wanting to fire yo ass and yo ass. That's what the Memphis Grizzlies situation ended up leading to. So I was talking to my cousin about this the other day, like, Jokic is being used incorrectly. Jokic is being used. He has responsibilities. And by the time the fourth quarter comes through, Jokic tired than a motherfucker. I done seen it in a lot of games. Jokic will have like 61 or 58 or 35, and they still lost. Why? Because that motherfucker tired. This nigga doing all the rebounding, all the passing, all the scoring, all the chicken, all the pig feet, all the hog maws. And I just feel like this is the result of positionless basketball, bro. Let a point guard be a point guard. Let a center be a center. Let a power forward be a power forward. I mean, they seem to have a pretty good formula, though. Denver did. With Aaron Gordon. I felt like Aaron Gordon doing what Jokic does was pretty cool. That took a lot of responsibility off of Nikola Jokic, but when you got one guy doing everything, you become predictable. And then, not to mention lackluster defense, lacking of bench players. The bench was playing well the first half of the season. Second half of the season, the bench players wasn't contributing at a high level. I think the loss of Julian Strawther hurt them a little bit. But I thought Westbrook was supposed to be the sixth man. What happened with that? I know Westbrook's late game execution hasn't been necessarily something to marvel at, but this is insane. On above 500 teams being fired within the next week, that is very strange. And, both situations turn out allegedly to be the players calling upon these motherfuckers to be fired because they don't see their vision, which argues that the players have way entirely too much power. I understand that you're getting $300 million and you're much richer than your coach, but at the same time, you still got to be professional. You still got to be professional, dog. It's just straight up. You got to be professional at this point. For real, for real. You got to be professional, dog. At the end of the day. You can't be out here throwing the coaches under the bus. That shit ain't cool. You know, I heard that Calvin Booth had been an issue for Mike Malone. I heard that those two was kind of going at it also. I think that also played a role in why they were both fired at the same time. I still think that, you know, both Malone and Jenkins fires were a little bit too early. I don't necessarily agree with them, but I see where they're coming from as far as, you know, Taylor Jenkins, you know, Memphis hasn't got that championship. At least Mike Malone had a championship and was the coach for a decade. I don't know about this one, guys. I don't think that, yeah, I'm not a fan of this move by no means. Yeah, I don't understand that one. That was interesting. But I think it's just because maybe the organization didn't like how Jokic was being used. I feel like Jokic needs to be set up most of the time for his points. You know, Jokic work a lot to get his stats. You know what I'm saying? He works a lot, and then he has to play 39, 40, 41 minutes. Jokic need to play like 34, 35 minutes. He's the best player. You're going to need him throughout the rounds of the playoffs. You know? Yeah, but that's wild, though. The fact that they fired Mike Malone like that, that's crazy. And the GM at the same time. It had to have been tension. Something just isn't right in the water. Something not right. Nah, not even a little bit. And it just so happens that though it's the Western Conference motherfuckers. Do y'all think that this is a play for LeBron and Steph to be the conference finals on purpose? I'm just asking questions. I'm not making assumptions. I'm asking y'all, could this be like a play to let LeBron and Steph battle it out for the West one more time by fucking up the chemistry and the nucleus of playoff teams? I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the plays. I don't know. I think more will eventually end up coming out about this, and then maybe we could have some sort of an understanding as to why this happened, how this could have happened, what in the fuck were these organizations thinking? Because this is pretty bad on both teams. You got a perfectly good playoff team and you want to fuck this shit up? Why? Yeah, more is going to come out about this. So hopefully we figure it out. More on that a little bit later. Once I get more information about this, I'll add more to the content. But wow, King Known NBA Music Talk. Nuggets firing niggas. They don't care if you black, white, Puerto Rican, Armenian. It don't matter. Your ass is fired. And I'm gone.